What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Be Wise podcast. I'm your host, Chris Wire Wright. Going to jump on really quick. Just when you think you were out, they pull you back in. Thought I was done doing podcasts for today, but so much is happening. So much is happening. So I wanted to quickly jump on and talk about um, Kanye West. And I'm not going to spend too much time on Kanye West, but um, I thought it was necessary to discuss what's going on with him. So Kanye West did a formal apology. He took a full page ad out of the Wall Street Journal, apologized, especially to the Jewish community, especially, the Black community, saying, hey, I was going through some bipolar shit in my life after my accident. When I first started my career, I was really surprised that he was in that car accident. He made, Through the Wire, his first album, which was iconic, classic albums, Graduation Day and all that, Late Registration. He made some outstanding albums. He did the album with Jay-Z, was it something, the Throne, right? Who would have known that he was slowly losing his mental capacity, starting to struggle from mental illness, bipolar disease disorder, on and on and on and on and on. But so he has this apology. And here's the thing, all right? There's a lot of layers to this, and I'm going to try and get through them quickly. But when someone does something evil and says really shitty stuff in public to the media, it's hard to accept an apology. It just is. If someone said some extremely racist stuff towards the Black community and kept saying it, like not once, but over and over again. Like here's a guy who wore a swastika t-shirt, was selling a swastika t-shirt on his apparel website, said, I hate Jews, said he was going DEFCON 3, the whole nine or whatever it was, constantly banging and attacking the Jewish community. You can't expect the Jewish community to just embrace him after one, for apology. That's a work in progress. As far as the Black community goes, he was doing the White Lives Matter t-shirts, supporting Donald Trump, which is fine. I'm good with that part. But he was doing things that were performative to hurt the Black community, to hurt the Jewish community. Like, I'm going to do this, and this is going to piss them off. Ooh, what can I do next to piss them off? Now, if he was sincere, like I support Donald Trump, these are the policies I agree with. I just loved how he's moving in certain directions and navigating the presidency. But to say, I'm going to wear this hat to piss Black people off, that's not a cool motive. That's some hidden, evil, nefarious motive. And the way he attacked the Jewish community was doing it to piss them off. And then everybody who came after him, whether it was the ADL or any Jewish organization, that defended defamation, he was doing that to piss them off. Now, I don't expect everybody to just accept this apology right away. And I don't think they will. Now, there are some people out there that, he got a new album coming out and he has a new apparel line coming out. Kanye's not hurting for money. He's not hurting for money. When he lost Balenciaga and Adidas and all those people who paid him to endorse their products, he lost a half $500 million. But remember, he was well over $1 billion. Let me ask you a question. He's made albums in the last couple of years, Vulture's album, etc. So he's still making money. Like Graduation Day is still number one, or it's in the top 100 in the Billboard chart. He's still getting royalties like crazy. Vulture's album with Ty Dolla $ign, he's still getting royalties from that. He's not hurting from money. But when you're going through a mental illness and you're seeking recovery and you're taking the proper medication and getting the proper you know, therapy, like through psychiatry, etc., you start to come out of that fog. I'm not saying you're cured, but you come out of that fog and you go, oh my God, not only have I hurt a lot of people, I've lost my family, I've lost my wife, I've lost my children, I've lost the Black community, I've lost Jay-Z and Beyonce and the people that put me on, I've lost friendships. I have people who won't even come near me or talk to me anymore. You lost a lot. And you start to come out of that fog and start to realize it. Him giving this apology is not a one day thing. It's a matter of um, how long will it take? There's some people that will never forgive him. Then, if he continued to do good works and good deeds over a period of time, it's going to be like Robert Downey Jr. Remember, he was crazy. Remember, he said this. Remember, he said that. Same thing with Charlie Sheen. Celebrities say and do stupid shit. But, but, how long is the redemption process? How long is the redemption process? So let's look at the apology. I'll read it with you. So I can't see. Because the bipolar comes with its own defense system, denial. When you're manic, you don't think you're sick. You think everyone else is overreacting. You feel like you're seeing the world more clearly than ever, when in reality, you're losing your grip, man, and you're losing your grip entirely. I lost touch with reality. Things got worse. The longer I ignored the problem, I said and did things I deeply regret. Some of the people I loved the most, I treated the worst. You endured fear, confusion, humiliation, and the exhaustion of trying to have someone who was at times unrecognizable. See, looking back, I became detached from my true self in that fractured state. I gravitated towards the most destructive symbol I could find, talking about the swastika, and even sold t shirts bearing it. One of the difficult aspects of having bipolar type 1 are the disconnect moments, many of which I still cannot recall, that led to poor judgment and reckless behavior that oftentimes feel like an out of body experience. I regret and I'm deeply mortified by my actions in that state. And I'm committed to accountability, treatment, and meaningful change. It does not excuse what I did, although I am not a Nazi or an anti Semite. I love Jewish people. He had some more to say. To the Black community, which held me down through all of my highs and lows and the darkest of times, the Black community is unquestionably the foundation of who I am. I'm sorry to have let you down. I love us. As I find my new baseline and new center through an effective regime of medication, therapy, exercise, and clean living, I have a newfound, much needed clarity. I am pouring my energy into positive, meaningful art, music, clothing, design, and other new ideas to help the world. I am not asking for sympathy or a free pass. Though I aspire to earn your forgiveness, I write today simply to ask for your patience and understanding as I find my way home. With love, Kanye West. So that was the apology. Um, and again, I nor he, no one's going to expect people to go, all right, Kanye, we good. We're going to buy your clothing line. Send me the link. Nope. They're not going to just suddenly go out and buy new sneakers and buy the new album. Like I said, the music part, he's always been good. People, there are Kanye West fans out there. I being one of them from a musical standpoint. All right. But he knows. Some people said this is performative. There's also videos of him holding a rabbi's hand and asking for forgiveness. And a lot of the Jewish community is not just going to accept that. He has a lot of work to do. A lot of work to do. He was interviewed after the apology by Vanity Fair. And see if I can get this up. Okay, yeah. So Vanity Fair asked the question. Some will say that regardless of the truth and tragedy of your diagnosis, this apology is a PR move. So you can release music, operate your own business in the ways that you used to, without the stigma of people thinking you're anti-Semitic. What would you say to them? He said, "It's my understanding that that he was at the top." I'm not going to read that one because all he's saying in that apology, in that answer, was that I've never lost my music fan base. I'm still on the Billboard Top 100, so to speak. I'm paraphrasing. I had an album in 2022 that was number one on Billboard, so he's right. Um, but he did want to say this for me, as evidenced by the heaviness that's on my heart and weighing on my spirit. I owe a huge apology once again for everything that I said that hurt the Jewish and Black communities in particular. So all in all, he's basically saying, I don't need the money. This is not for business. This is not for record sales. He's saying he can move on pretty much without all that. But he does understand that this is going to take some time. So if you want to pause and read that, rock on. And let's look at his timeline. A lot has happened to him over the period of time. So since 2022, March 2022, suspended from Instagram for 24 hours for using a racial remark against Trevor Noah. Paris Fashion Week, he wears a White Lives Matter t-shirt, made anti-Semitic claims in an interview with Tucker Carlson, continued to make anti-Semitic comments throughout, had dining with Nick Fuentes and Mar-a-Lago. Twitter suspended his account, appeared on Alex Jones. Man, where it just on and on and on and on and on. What else did he do? In 2023, Elon Musk restored his account on X. He posted an apology in Hebrew to the Jewish community on Instagram. 2023, 2024, Vultures came out with Ty Dolla $ign, which reached number one on the Billboard Top 100. Isn't it amazing? He was doing all this stuff and he still went number one. How many artists would ask for that? That would be a career destroyer. February of this year, just this year, reaffirms anti-Semitic views, praised Hitler again, later retracting it as a social experiment before redoubling down. Published an apology letter in the Wall Street Journal. We're up to now. And he has an album coming out January 30th. So I don't know. What do you think? I think that I believe in redemption stories. I'm one that supported Michael Vick all through the dog stories. So many, animal activists and, people were like hating Michael Vick forever and they will. They didn't like him having this redemption story. Right now, Michael Vick is the head football coach at Norfolk State University. But him being on Fox Sports and ESPN, and people just wouldn't accept it. And that's the same thing with Kanye. I can't imagine the amount of hate mail that Fox Sports got when he was an analyst. And he was a damn good analyst. But I'm sure the ratings were down. People said, I'm not watching this. But you can't say what's worse, like cruelty to animals or being anti-Semitic. They're both cruel. So it's not cool. But I just wanted to get your thoughts on it. You can chop it up in the comments. I'm rooting for Kanye West. I know that Candace Owens, who I'm a supporter of, is rooting for Kanye West. If you watch her, she talks a lot about the drug cocktails that they give people in Hollywood. And in the entertainment industry. She talks about MK Ultra, CIA. So she's a strong supporter of Kanye West. And we just wish him the best, not only in his career, but in his private life. If nothing comes of this from a career standpoint, let's hope that he can. He's not going to get back with Kim Kardashian, but let's hope he can restore that relationship and be a good, co-parent to his children. And we want to pray that that's all working out. Now, I might finish this podcast, and you might go, "F Kanye West," give him the finger. And if you watch, I just watched a segment on the Joe Budden podcast. Half the panel supported him, wished the best for him, and half the panel was like, "Nah, not duping me again." So I'm rooting for his redemption. It doesn't mean that I'm believing his apology. Chat GPT and Gemini works wonders. I could write an apology right now in a matter of 2 seconds on Chat GPT, but it doesn't mean you're going to believe it. Or you can get some PR person, pay him $1 million to write something, tell you how to present it. And people are going to think it's performative. And some people are going to go, "Oh, it is what it is." Anyway, I'm out. Talk to you guys later. See you on the other side.